Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a one brand full face of Wet n Wild. I've seen some other YouTubers do videos like this and I thought, let's give it a try. Wet n Wild is one of the more affordable brands at the drugstore, so pretty much anybody can go out and get any of these products and recreate your own look. I will say I did have to go to multiple stores to get all of the products that I needed. I still was not able to find a eyebrow pencil. I found one that was not in my shade, and I did not care for that color that it was in. It was called Blonde Moment or something. The pencil was brown. The color of the pencil was brown. So you would think when you put it on your brow, it would be brown. It was not. It was like a greenish yellow. No. Just no. So I will be using a different brand for my brows, but everything else is Wet n Wild. I also will be using a couple of Wet n Wild brushes. I only have a few, and so I will be using just a couple that I have, and the rest of my brushes will be a mix of probably Morphe and e.l.f. and maybe a couple of BH Cosmetics brushes. So let's go ahead and jump in. I've been giving my eyes a break from my contacts because they have been itching so much the last few days. So I'm not gonna wear anything, and so everything is gonna be a little bit blurry, but hopefully the video's in focus because I set that before I took my glasses off. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to prime with the Coverall Primer. This is supposed to be similar to the NYX Angel Veil and Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer, I think it's called. So it's just white. And it feels like a cream, just a regular, moisturizer cream. My skin type is pretty combo. I do get oiliness in my T-zone, but everywhere else can tend to be kind of dry. So just so you know. I think I have a bruise or something on the tip of my nose with this almost 3-year-old boy. That is not completely out of the question. But yeah, it's a little bit discolored and it hurts a little bit, so ouch. For foundation, the only thing that I could find was the BB cream. I know that they do have at least one kind of foundation. I'm not sure what it's called or anything about it, but I did find the BB cream, so I got that. This says SPF 15 sunscreen. Conceal, smooth, even tone, prime, brighten, hydrate, and control oil, and I got the shade medium. Also, if you didn't know, Wet n Wild is cruelty-free. They are a cruelty-free brand, so if that makes any difference to you. I'm going to go ahead and just put it on the back of my hand. And it's a thick enough foundation or BB cream. It's not super runny, but you can see it does move a little bit. So I'm going to just dot that all over my face, and then I will blend in with the Wet n Wild like flat top kabuki. My hair is at that stage where it needs to be cut and recolored. So until that happens, this is a popular hairstyle for me. Also, it's pretty dang hot still, so having my hair up more often than not is just a way of life for me. Light coverage for sure, so I'm going to try and build it up a little bit. I just tend to like a more full coverage foundation personally. So we'll see if we can build it up. The colors actually seem to be a good match. I hate that line that I get around here, like everything is so much more tan down, and then I have this ring around my neck that's light, and then my face is tan again. All right, so there's that. It doesn't look too bad. It's nice and lightweight, and it gives a decent amount of coverage. Okay, concealer. This is what I got. I know that they also make another one that's supposed to be really good, but they didn't have a shade that suited me at any of the 4 stores that I went to get all of these products. So I got this one. This is the Come Correct Celebrity Concealer. The shade that I got is Fair. This is comparable to IT Cosmetics by Under Eye. It's really thick. You need a super, super little amount because a little goes a really, really long way. So, and usually when I do my makeup, I always use the NYX Dark Circle Concealer, Enunciation. But because this is just a one brand, I'm not going to use it. So, if these bad boys don't get covered all the way up, that's part of the reason. So I'm just taking some on my finger here. And like I said, just a little tiny, tiny bit, because this really goes a long way. And I'm gonna blend it out with a damp beauty blender. Okay, now I'm going to take the Beauty Blender and just finish blending it in. Well, that blended out pretty nicely. So now I'm going to set that with the Mega Glow contouring palette. And this is the Dolce de Leche shade. So obviously I'm just going to take the lighter side, and for this I'm going to use an e.l.f. mineral powder brush. Just dip it right into that lighter. That honestly doesn't look too bad. It gives pretty good coverage. It's not sinking into my fine lines right away, which some heavy concealers will tend to do. But yeah, it looks pretty nice. Okay, so now I'm going to warm up my face. So then to contour, I'm not really going to contour, but kind of just to warm up my face a little bit, add a little bit more dimension. I'm going to take the other shade right here. And this is, let's use the Real Techniques sculpting brush. So now we're going to powder our face, just set everything so that we don't get super oily. I'm taking the Coverall pressed powder in the shade Light Medium. This says, all day wear, radiant weightless finish. Visibright Complex reduces the appearance of wrinkles and rejuvenates the skin. I'm down with that. So I'm going to take the powder brush, the Wet n Wild powder brush. Next I'm going to blush. So for that, I'm going to use the Color Icon Ombre Blush in Mai Tai Buy You a Drink. This is one of my favorite blushes. It's just a
Give you
super
too
pretty
much
color
color
on your cheeks, but just enough. So for that, I'm going to use a BH Cosmetics brush. And I just kind of swirl all around and then tap off. Now I'm going to do my highlight. And for that, I'm taking the Mega Glow Illuminating Palette in Catwalk. So I am going to take this Morphe fan brush. This is one of my favorite fan brushes that I've ever seen. It's the S23. Look at, bam, that's a big old brush. I love this brush for applying highlighter. It gets exactly where it needs to go and doesn't take a long time to do it. So I'm just gonna dip into all of the shades, kind of swirl them around a little bit. That's generally how I use this highlight. All right, so highlighting is done. So now that I'm done with all of the powders on my face and everything, I'm gonna set. Make sure everything just kind of melds into the skin. So I'm going to use the Photo Focus Setting Spray by Wet n Wild, of course. This one is not my favorite, I'm going to be honest. It has a pretty strong fragrance to it, and the mist is not like a super fine mist. It's kind of like really forceful. So yeah, it's not my favorite, but it's not horrible. I'm gonna do my Tightline and Waterline. So for that, I got the Kohl Crayon Color Icon Kohl Eyeliner in Simmer Brown Now. It's not Simmer, Simma Brown Now. So that is what I'm gonna use for my Tightline and Waterline. Let me just put it this way, my eyeballs do not like me putting things in them right now. I usually don't have a big problem tightlining and waterline, but today it is not. So that's done. So now I'm going to go in and do my brows. For my brows, I'm going to take the Cella Tantalizing Taupe Eyebrow Pencil. I'm pretty sure this came in either a BoxyCharm or Ipsy, or probably both, because I do have two of them. So I'm going to take this BH Cosmetics spoolie and just brush all the hairs up. And yes, I am still growing my brows out so that I can have them reshaped. And I can't wait to go get that done because they're really driving me crazy. So now I'm just going to brush through them again real quick. Kind of spread out the color. Make them look a little less drawn in. And then to not really set my brows, but kind of set my brows, I'm going to use the Essence Make Me Brow in Brownie Brows. This is supposed to be comparable to Benefit Gimme Brow. And I know Essence is sold at Ulta and Target now. All we have left to do is the eyes. Okay, so to start my eyes, I'm going to take this single in Brulee and just put it all over my eyes. And I am taking a Wet n Wild brush for that. All right, now I'm going to go into this palette. This is the Comfort Zone palette. So pretty. These shades are just gorgeous. They swatch really beautifully. So hopefully they go on the eyes beautifully too. I will probably be, I don't know. Let's just wing it and see how we do. I am going to, all right, so on these it does say what to use and where. So like these top two shades are for brow bone, then eyelid, crease, and definer for like your outer V. So I'm going to take this shade here for my crease. And this is a Morphe M441. That is really pigmented. I just took the tiniest amount on this brush. All right, and then we're gonna do the lid. All right, and then to do my lid, I'm gonna take this Royal Langnickel brush, BX80. And I'm just gonna take that, so I'm just gonna take that eyelid shade right here. Then I'm gonna go back into that crease color. And I'm also running that on my lower lash line. And yes, I am doing one complete eye before I move on to the next. All right, and then to do my lid, I'm gonna take this Royal Langnickel brush, BX80. So I'm just gonna take that eyelid shade right here. I'm also running that on my lower lash line. Just with whatever has been left over on the brush. And yes, I am doing one complete eye before I move on to the next, trying to speed things up. All right, now I'm going to take this Morphe M433 to define that outer crease. And for that, I'm going to use this shade right here because, oh my gosh, you guys. Look at that. Holy crap, that is gorgeous. Ever since I saw that shade, I was like, oh my god, because it doesn't look like that in the pan at all. So, and on the brush, it just looks like a brown. I love this shade. So I'm tapping off my excess, and then I'm just gonna kind of pat it where I want it on my outer V. And then start blending it in. And then I'm also taking whatever is left and running that under my lower lash line. All right, and then on a brush that's got no product on it, I'm taking this M330 from Morphe and just gonna blend it all, and you know, no harsh lines, all that good stuff. All right, and then I'm gonna go back into the definer shade again. For my brow bone highlight, I'm taking this Urban Decay Naked 3 brush, came with the Naked palette, and I'm just going to take this end in that brow bone shade right here. Tap off the excess, and then for my inner corner, I'm going to go ahead and take another single. This is Sugar. And I'm taking that on a Morphe Gunmetal collection. This is the G18. So now I'm going to curl my lashes and add some mascara. Mascara that I'm using is Wet n Wild Mega Impact, and the shade is Very Black. I've never used this mascara before, so we're gonna see how this goes. That's a decent brush. It seems like this is a really dry formula. And while I don't like a super wet formula, this just feels like I'm running a brush with no product on it through my lashes. I don't know how I feel about that. It definitely doesn't feel like there's a lot of product in here at all. But I mean, I guess that's not awful. You can see that there's mascara there. So okay, now I'm gonna go finish my other eye real quick, and then I will be right back. Now that both eyes and my whole face is done, I'm gonna go ahead and apply some lip gloss, and then we'll be done. have it. Now, funny story. So I filmed this whole video. I tear down all my lights and camera and everything. And I go and I upload the footage to my laptop. And I'm looking at it and I'm trying to find like my outro and all that kind of stuff. And it wasn't there. And I was like, what the hell happened here? And then I remembered. I shut the recording off. I turned off the recording after I did one eye so I could do the other eye to hopefully make the video go a little faster in editing and watching and all that kind of stuff. So I was just talking away to the camera because I forgot that I had shut off the recording. And so I didn't have it. I totally thought that I did, and I didn't. So now we're doing this. Lip was the only thing that I didn't do earlier, so now lip is done. And now I can go ahead and do my outro. Anyway, the makeup actually though has lasted quite well. It's been on for, it's 7 and I put it on at about 1, so that's 6 hours. It's held up pretty well for being a BB cream and drugstore products, everything, you know, looks pretty good. I can see my dark circles are popping through a little bit, but honestly, I have no creasing under my eyes. Wow, like I completely expected to be creasing under my eyes within like an hour, but no, everything looks really good and has held up really well in the heat because I did have to go out for a little while. So yeah, there's my video on the One Brand Full Face Wet n Wild. If you like this video, if you want to see more, then go ahead and leave a comment and let me know what other brands you would like to see, and I will try and accommodate as best I can. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.